Hey everybody, Omar here, your Edge of South Africa guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. And today we've got an engraved folder from Hennie Plesis. You can check out his website at Billet to Blade on Instagram. So this is his folder. It's an engraved folder. I want to show it to you. This is really quite something. I did this video yesterday, but apparently I didn't get a chance to show you the details of the knife, and I wanted a chance to redo it again so you guys can get a better look at the detail of the knife. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's give it an overall good view. Take a look at the intricate. I don't know if you guys can see it because the light's really, really strong this morning. Yeah, I think you can see it pretty well. And on the back of the knife is carbon fiber, black carbon fiber. And you can see there's another, there's more engraving on the pocket clip. That's something kind of rare. You don't see, you really don't see like engraving on something as intricate as a pocket clip. And then there's the pivot. I just want to give you guys a really good look at the engraving on this. What's cool about the backs about this particular knife is it's kind of weird because it's actually two faces. If you look at it from this way, which is, you know, the right side up, you can see the face looks like a kind of like a devilish looking face. You see that? There's the eyes, and then it looks like it's got a nose, right? And then there's the mouth, and then like there's these two things like on the cheeks. It's just the way it looks, right? But then you turn it around upside down. Now it looks like a cat, and it looks a little bit more happier. I just keep staring at that. That's pretty weird. And then, of course, there's the engraving on the pivot, which is really sweet looking there. And, of course, you look at the front side, because we really got to look at the front side of the knife before I actually even get into it. Here is the Kitsune mask folder. That's what this is. And so I'm holding really good close-up look of the engraving. Right above here on the top, you can see like clouds. And then there's these strikes coming out. That's supposed to be, I think that's supposed to be like the night. I'm trying to cover my hand from the sun, it's so bright. Like shining, it's supposed to be shining. And then there's the moon shining actually, because there's the moon right about there. And then you can see the face on of the Kitsune mask, the female. She's topless, which I always like. And then you got the engraving of the teeth. Look at that. That's insane. And then there's more background showing there. She even gets the details of like the wolf hairs on the arms and on the back and on the chest and everything. It's absolutely nuts. Even the hair looks like real hair. Check that out, man. It's like sort of sticking out there. Really nice. So the blade itself is Magna Cut, which is quite odd because this knife is made in South Africa. And the blade size is about I'm going to say about 3.17. Yeah, about that. 3.17, right around there, almost a 3.2-inch knife, so it's a medium-sized knife. Again, this knife was made by Hennie Plesis and Ilze Plesis. They're a husband and wife team in South Africa. They're also good friends of mine. Yeah, this is probably only like their third engraved knife. So the way the process of making this knife goes is that it almost seems like Hennie Plesis begins working on the knife, building the knife, just the knife itself. He builds it. He works on the action, you know, he works on putting the whole entire knife together. And then halfway through it, and it almost seems like so if they're at the same place, when they make it. Or actually, I'm assuming that Ilze actually works on the engraving first, right? And then when he finds out that his wife is halfway done with the engraving process, then he begins to build the knife. So it's almost like they're at the same place, so that they can put the knife together and then have it ready for the customer. I believe this is only their third or maybe fourth engraved knife, because if you look on their website, they didn't do a whole lot of engraved knives, but not this folder. But if you check out their Instagram, they did win best art folder for yeah, they did win for best art folder this year at the African Guild Show, so that's pretty awesome. So let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the other things that the knife comes with, the packaging and everything. So I'm going to put this aside. I'll probably hold the knife up in this detail, quite a bit throughout the video. So this is the casing that it comes in. Look at this crap, man. It's unbelievable. You get the cloth here to keep the knife in, and then the case itself is not like any other case I've ever seen. This case is really hard. He's probably got the best casing I've ever seen. This is not fake leather. This is real leather. I don't know where the hell he gets the finances to put this thing together, but if you look on his channel, he's got like one shot of like 25 of these all in a row. And this is a real hard casing. I think the casing itself will be enough for you to want to get one of his knives. Amazing. So here's the certificate of authenticity. Let's see here. Yeah, the sheepskin. So here's a certificate of authenticity. I'm going to read it off to you. So there it is, Hennie du Plesis. The Kitsune mask art folder. So Kitsune mask or the Kitsune is actually a female. It's a mask, and basically it represents, I guess, a female who has supernatural abilities. So it's kind of a cool design to choose. So it's CPM Magna Cut. It's a hand engraved folder and carbon fiber, titanium hand engraved, titanium Balinese edge. And yeah, again, you can see the engraving is done by Ilze du Plesis. And the folder was made on August 1st, 2023, and there's Hennie du Plesis' signature. Now, if you look closely at the folder, actually, I don't think you can see it, but way down here at the bottom is her signature. She puts the, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's right there. I'll hold right by my thumb. See that? There's her initials right on the knife. Now, there are several people in South Africa that do engraving, not quite this intricate, but they do the engraving. But I don't know if they put their initials on the knife, and in this case, it's definitely justified. She used this as a canvas to create this artwork. Now, if you're wondering if this is Ilze's third or fourth folder, how can she be so good? Well, number one, she was taught by Neil Ruse the basics of engraving. And secondly, and more importantly, Ilze is actually an artist in her own right. She's done like tons of paintings, and she just already had that art instinct in her. So for her to learn engraving wasn't too much of a stretch. She's definitely an artist all by herself without having to have anything to do with, her husband's knife making. But she decided to team up with him, and it was just a really smart move because, I think if the two of them team up and continue to do these engraved folders, they're going to have a ton of business, and that just makes it much better for them overall as a team. Now, there's something else that the knife comes with, and there's a little surprise I wanted to show you guys. Then we'll get into the size comparisons. Like I said, the only reason I did this video again is because I think I couldn't get too close up of the knife, and the other thing is I forgot to show you something else that the knife comes with. If I can open up the bag for it, and I don't know if you're going to get one of these with every engraved folder. It seems to me that they would do that, which would definitely make them stand out. But the knife also comes with a coin. Check it out. See that? Again, the same face, right? It's upside down, so it looks like a sad, mean, evil-looking face. And then when you turn it around, like I'm now it looks like a cat. That's pretty cool. But I mean, you kind of just have to wonder, man. Look how much detail is just on this small space on this coin. I'm like, what the freak? She just does. It's not. I think it's like flowers. You can actually see the flowers above the head of the Kitsune mask. You can see all these little intricate designs on the coin all the way around. It's nuts. It's just crazy. And you get one of these with. I'm assuming you're gonna get a gold coin with each and every engraved knife, and it's a real small coin, but still, the detail on that is just amazing. My own opinion, I think Ilze should use this as her calling card. Not the Kitsune mask, but the coin thing, so that everybody knows, you know, who did the engraving on it. Um, I think, yeah. I was trying to see if I could see her initials on the coin, but I can't. But that's okay. It's on the knife anyway. She might want to maybe consider maybe putting her initials on the back of the coin. Up. She beat me to it. There's her initials right there on the back of the coin. I didn't even see that. So it's right there on the back of the coin. If I could like kind of hide the light in a way. That's too much blocking. Yeah, there it is. You can see her initials right there. I didn't know that she did that, so that was good. For the back of the coin though, I'd like to suggest maybe she make it bigger, bigger. Like the whole coin. Why not? So everybody can really get a good look at her initials instead of making it so small. So yeah, so that's the coin. So let's go ahead and bring the knife back out. So the entire knife, again, is all titanium. The action is incredibly smooth. It runs on ceramic ball bearings. We've got carbon fiber for the back side. Obviously, the engraved side is titanium. Perfectly centered all the way. So Hennie definitely did his job on this piece. But clearly, you buy a knife like this, and the star of the show was the engraving. But one thing he did also on this folder that I wanted to point out is the flipper design. It's a dual flipper design. Still a front flipper, but if you guys can see, there's the flipper front part where you take your thumb and you do it that way, open it. But for those of you that aren't into front flipping, or maybe you rather use your regular finger, he's giving you that option too. You can also open it with an index finger. So there you go. I prefer both. It doesn't make a difference to me, but what I do like is the design. See how it kind of curves in almost like a V shape? So he created that because he realized that the angle that people flip knives at is right about here with their thumb if you're an experienced front flipper. Otherwise, if you've never front flipped a knife, it's going to take you some practice. And then he had the presence of mind to create this up at the top of the knife for the index finger. That's just a perfect angle, and it seems to stick out above the knife at just the right angle, so you can get a good purchase on that and pop that sucker open. So it's just absolutely perfect. So let's go ahead and get to some size comparisons so we can see what the size of this knife is. Now, it's a medium to small size knife, and I'm gonna show you. So let's go ahead and start with a knife that's everybody's pretty much familiar with. This is the 0562. me get the coin out of the way there. All right, yeah, the 0562 ZT. I think you guys can tell now, a little better angle. So as you can see, there it is. It's up against the 00562, and it's sort of a medium-sized knife. Let's put it up with another knife you guys might be familiar with, which is the Spyderco Sage. So as you can see, it's about the same size as the Spyderco Sage. The Spyderco Sage is, yeah, it's about a 3.2-inch blade on that one. So they're roughly the same size. I think the Plesis folder might be a hair larger. If you want to see it up against, let's see here. How about the Kershaw Livewire? There it is up against the Kershaw Livewire. Right. And then, oh, I know. How about this one? You can get a really good sense of how big it is. Now, this is the Yo Jumbo 2, which is a 3.7-inch knife. Look how much bigger that knife is up against the folder there. And then give you a better idea, we like to do the large, medium, and small. Let's put it up against the ZT0562. Now it's ZT056, sorry, 0562, the ZT0900. There you go. So you get like the big, medium, and then small. But however, between the medium and the small, it's kind of a, kind of your way to interpret it. But this knife is definitely much larger, slightly larger, definitely larger than this knife. Even at this angle, you can tell. So I'm going to be getting another engraved folder from these guys in 2024, so you're going to want to look out for that one. I'm not even going to say what's going to be on that one, but that one's going to be made especially for me. This particular folder was not made for me. I saw it on their website and on their Instagram channel, and I had it just happen. I just thought that the whole knife overall, the shape of the knife, the engraving on the knife was just absolutely incredible. I think that these two guys as a team are really going to go really far. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Ilze's engraving kind of elevate to the next level, because it's pretty clear that this artist can get a hell of a lot of detail on a knife with a very tiny amount of space. There's like a whole freaking scene on this small space with the clouds and the shining of the moon and even like the freaking shadowy, hairy part of the ears. I mean, it doesn't seem to end. This background part here, I mean, that's really intricate. This stuff down here with the clouds, it looks like it came from like a starry night, you know what I mean? Really, just really well done. The wolf hair is unbelievable. The nipples, I mean, she's got everything, all the detail, all on this one small, tiny amount of space. And it's covering the entire knife, and it's just bam, it just hits you like a wave. And I also like the pocket clip, the way that, it's got like a two-face design. I don't know if it was intended to have a two-face design, but I mean, of course, there's a flower above the head. So, it's quite obvious that that they probably did intend to do that, because this face looks quite evil. with the mask, and then you turn it around and you get another design with the sort of a smiling cat face looking one. So that's absolutely amazing. I don't think you're ever going to find a better team to handle a knife like this than Plesis. Than the Plesises. These guys are just going to go so far. Now, what's strange about this is that this is just one side of Hennie Plesis's work. He's got more knives, more knife designs coming out, which probably don't have anything to do with Ilze's engraving, but I gotta tell you, I think he's gonna probably wind up selling more engraved folders than his regular folders. Even though his regular folders that he makes are absolutely stunning. But the star of the show on this knife is Ilze. However, and I've done other videos of Hennie. What's great about Hennie Plesis is that he works with a variety of materials. When he first started out, he was already working with a bunch of different materials, so he already knew how to do that. And actually, the thing about Hennie is that he's a different type of a knife maker in a sense that he came with all of this experience already. Even like maybe his seventh or eighth folder, he was already working with meteorite and other, like whalebone and all these other weird materials, which is something that you actually have to work your way up to learn how to do. And Hennie just picked it up. I mean, which I think is really interesting. So you could probably order anything on the knife, and he could probably make a knife out of it, whether the material is organic or inorganic. Hennie can definitely do all of that. It's just a matter of what do you want on your knife. And at this point in time, as far as model knife, that's what he's also trying to figure out too, is that he doesn't have a plethora of models or named models. He's only got one model out at this point in time, and that's the Rocket, and it's official, the only official model that he has. Otherwise, if you ask him to make a knife for you, more than likely that one model, which doesn't even have a name, is probably going to be a one-of-a-kind. Most of his knives are one-of-a-kind. If you're familiar with custom knife makers, he's not like Andre Thorburn, who's got his L models, his liner lock models. So you get L15, L14, L38. He's got like model knives, and then they slap some sort of graphic, or they'll put a combination of materials on the knife, and then that's how it becomes a one-off. With Hennie, at this point in time, whatever knife you choose, the entire knife itself is a one-off. In fact, this knife here is a one-off. There's no name for this knife. It's just a knife. But and that may be fine for him to go that way. I don't see that being a problem. If he doesn't want to put names on his model knives, that's okay. However, when communicating with your customers, he may want to start coming up with some names. Now, I named the Rocket for him. If he wants me to take a look at a few more model knives, and if Hennie's watching this video, if he wants to be able to have me maybe come up with another name for some of the other models that he's got, that he thinks he wants to make again, just because production-wise, it would make his work a lot easier than to come up with a new model knife each time for a customer, because the engraving on some of these knives, or the materials that he decides to put on the knife, is going to make the knife a one-of-a-kind handmade knife. So it might be a good idea for him to come up with some model names. And also, we discussed, when I was talking with him, he needs to start making larger knives, like 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, right around that size range. This still, even though it's a medium-sized knife, people like to have much larger knives regardless, especially regular knife fans. They like to have regular larger size knives because they're going to be using them. Not like me, who's actually an art collector, an art knife collector, which is what I am. I don't really use my knives all that much. I do use them, but not heavily. And give you another shot of the coin while I talk some more. I mean, because the coin is really intricate, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like. I just love the detail on that. The detail on the knife itself. I don't know what direction these guys are gonna go in, but the fact that you can see there's so much detail, that takes hours of work to do that. They may want to, maybe I shouldn't say this, but they may want to work in the hours put into the knife and make that, and put that into the price of the knife, because this is a lot of work on here, man. It's a lot of work. And you know, Ilze just really goes overboard. I mean, I saw one of the larger engraved folders on their Instagram site. She covers every bit of the freaking knife with the engraving. It's like there's no empty space. You know what I mean? You know, like there's no blank part of the surface that she's engraving is blank. Everything's got something on it. I'm thinking, you know, I think she needs to maybe consider, you know, not putting so much detail, because there's a lot of work in there, man. You want to make sure you get paid for your work, and you know, and I say that to the benefit of the people that work in South Africa making knives, because they're not America. You know, they're you know, they have a completely different socioeconomic background. So every penny they make, man, they can certainly go to use to feed their families, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, these guys have challenges when they're making knives. They got to put up with like load shedding, where they shut off the electricity. I think they shut it off like 2 times a day. Over there in South Africa, and I know Hennie's had a hell of a problem, you know, working on stuff. Plus, things break down, you know, like his machines break down, then all of a sudden the work stops. So there's a lot of challenges that go into making a knife, and you know, when things break down like that, you know, sometimes he's in a really inspired moment, he's ready to go, and all of a sudden they shut the electricity off, or the equipment breaks down, and then everything comes back up, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't know if I have a I don't know if I've got the emotion to create art right now. So, you know, that's something that people need to kind of keep in mind, the challenges that it takes to create art like this. Both of them, both Ilze and Hennie. So there you have it. The Kitsune mask folder. I've talked long enough, and this video has gone a whole half hour, but then again, this video deserves a half hour just because the engraving on it and the way that the knife was made with all of Hennie's enhancements definitely deserves it. So, again, Hennie du Plessis Kitsune mask art folder, CPM Magna Cut, made by Hennie du Plessis, engraving done by Ilze du Plessis. You can check their work out on Instagram at Billet2Blade, and I believe her channel, I'm trying to see, you can check Ilze's Instagram. I have my phone here, so thank God I could look it up. It's let's see here. Yeah, it's Ilze du Plessis, so you can check her out on her Instagram page, Ilze du Plessis, and definitely get into and check out where's the coin? Oh, there it is. Yeah, check out their Instagram page. You probably won't see a ton of engraved folders, probably just maybe 2 or 3, because like I said, it just seems like they just started doing this. But she just did a new one, and that one's much more intricate than what I got. And I've talked it over with Ilze, and she's going to make me a folder when I'm actually ready, and I'm thinking I'm going to be ready pretty soon. For my next art folder. That one's going to be like a 3.5-inch knife, engraved knife. And I'm more than likely, I'll get another engraved one from them after that. And then, of course, I've got a rocket coming, a large one. So I'm not going to stop being their customer, even though they're friends of mine. I just won't stop. Their work is just amazing. So there you have it. The Hennie du Plessis and Ilze du Plessis Kitsune mask folder. This is Omar coming at you at the edge of South Africa. website. Please do check out their channel and their work. They're kind of, they haven't been around very long, but I'm sure you know, if you have the money, they are definitely ready to build a knife for you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks so much, and you guys have a fantastic Sunday morning.